Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing something a little different. I've never done a video like this before, but basically today I'm going to be going through my GoodReads and seeing which books that I have read are rated the lowest according to GoodReads reviewers. And I haven't looked at this prior to filming this video, so I'm going to be honest, if these books were actually that bad, I probably won't even remember what they were about unless I thought they were really horrible, then sometimes those stick with me. But like I said, haven't looked at this already, so I don't know which books are going to come up in this, but I'm kind of excited. I'm a little scared that some of my favorite books are going to be like at the bottom, but let's just get into it. So I have pulled up my GoodReads on my phone. I will insert the books I'm talking about here. So I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because this like updates slowly, but for whatever reason it is showing these to me out of order, even though I have it so that it should be ordered from least rating to highest rating. But I'm going to go through them in the order they're giving them to me. It's not exactly in the right order, but I figure it's close enough. You can, get the picture. I will say the first one on here I'm already offended by because it is The Christmas Pact by Keilani, and I gave this one 4 stars. The average rating for this one was 3.68 stars. I really liked this one. I remember reading this last year. I think it was a novella. I don't think it was an entire book. I thought it was really cute. I remember the banter in this one being really good and just liking the overall like holiday vibes, and so I'm not sure why the rating for that one's so low. I'm a little sad about that. But I mean, I guess maybe people just don't like novellas. The next one is Happy Endings by Vien Kim Lam, and this one, the average rating is 3.24 stars, and I did give this one 3 stars. I remember being very disappointed by this book because I had picked it up because something had come out with a top 10 list. I want to say like maybe it was like the New York Times or something came out with like a list of the top 10 romances of the year, and this was on it, and I was planning to do a video where I read all of these like top 10 romances, and I remember this was one of the first ones I read, and I really didn't like it because I didn't think it was anything that special. And this one was the one I read actually that made me decide I wasn't going to film that video after all, because I was like, I'm not even liking any of these books. So I remember not really loving that one. The next one is The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. This one I gave 3 stars. The average rating was 3.37 stars. This is one of those books that was a Reese's Book Club pick. I also at one point was planning to do a video where I read all of Reese's Book Club picks for the year, but I have discovered that I actually hate every single book I've read that has been a Reese's Book Club pick, so that just like would have been like an absolutely terrible video. So I scrapped that one as well because I wasn't liking any of the books that she was recommending. This one in particular, I remember it was something about these like people in this hotel that were like showing up with like gas masks on, but they were like dead, and she was trying to like solve this like crime, and they were all snowed in at this hotel. But I just found that this was just like very predictable. Like to me this was almost like the equivalent of like a Scooby-Doo episode. Like it wasn't anything super crazy or interesting. Like I don't know why it's so popular, to be honest. It was very straightforward. Didn't love that one. I can understand why the rating is low for that one. Next one is 99% Mine by Sally Thorne, which has an average rating of 3.39 stars. I gave it 4 stars. I do remember liking this one at the time that I read it. When did I read it? Last August, so about a year ago. And honestly right now I don't remember much. I know there was twins and the girl ends up dating their joint best friend, I think. Don't remember much of it. It was good at the time. I don't know that I'd give it 4 stars if I read it today, but I guess a lot of other people didn't like it. Next is Booked for Christmas by Lily Menon. This was rated, I gave it 4 stars. The average rating is 3.39 stars. I can see like why these like novellas have lower ratings, because I always feel like whenever you read a novella you always want, more content. Like it's never enough content to really justify sort of having read an entire story. So I get why like most of these are novellas on here. That one's a little sad. It was a cute little winter book. I remember reading that one. The next one is All I Want for Christmas. It's like all the Christmas books that have low ratings. It's so strange. All I Want for Christmas by Wendy Logia. This one's average rating is 3.4 stars. I gave it 3 stars. This one was very like, I remember it being very cutesy. It was like very sort of almost like a Hallmark Christmas movie, very cheesy, very like, but like that was pretty much probably all I was looking for at the time. That's probably why I gave it 3 stars was like, it was what I was looking for. It was Christmassy. It was, you know, it did the job, but like, I'm sure it wasn't anything fantastic. Next is, this one I'm kind of surprised is on here. It's Brutal Air by Eden O'Neill, which I gave 4 stars. The average rating is 3.48 stars. And to be honest, I don't remember a ton about this one, but I do remember recommending it in my bully romance rec video, which to me means it was good enough that I recommended it. So it must have been good at the time. I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember anything about that one because I read so many bully romances like back to back at that time. I don't remember this one specifically, but it is a university book, so that's a little interesting. Don't know why it's rated so low. Next is The Holiday Switch by Tiff Marcello. I gave this 4 stars. Its average rating was 3.5 stars. I'm kind of surprised by this one too. I remember really liking this one. It wasn't anything like super crazy special, but it was like a really cute little Christmas romance, and like I said, my hopes are not like high when it comes to Christmas romances. Like, I just want some like festive stuff going on, and I remember this one having a lot of that. Like, I'm pretty sure there was like a gingerbread house competition or something, and like they were doing a lot of Christmassy things, which I thought was really cute because that was like pretty much all I was looking for in these books. I'm not sure why that rating is so low. Maybe it's because it's like a YA book. People were disappointed by that, but I don't know why that one is so low, and I don't know why all the Christmas books have such low ratings. Like, what are people hoping for in these books? Because I'm not sure what it is. Next is They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman. This one is, the average rating is 3.5, and I gave it 3 stars. I did not like this book. I remember reading this one. I found it very, very predictable. It's like a mystery. I honestly can't even remember, but I remember whatever it was, like if it was a murder mystery or whatever, whoever you were trying to figure out like who did it kind of thing, I knew who it was right off the bat, and I found that was super, super boring. It was very confusing because it was about this like secret society, but yet they never really explained the secret society. Like, it was just sort of assumed that you knew like what it was and what was going on, and unless I had read the back of the book, like I honestly would have had no idea what they were even talking about. But I remember not really liking that one. Next, this is kind of funny, I just read this one, is The Sea Witch by Katie Roberts. This one has an average rating of 3.51. I gave this one 2 stars. This was easily my least favorite book in that series. It was really stupid. It was sort of like a retelling of like The Little Mermaid kind of thing, but in it, there's a girl named Zuri, who's like, her name's Zuriel, so she's like Ariel. Zuri is selling herself to make money to rescue Alaric, who is like essentially Prince Eric, from, I don't know, like the underworld or like wherever they were, and Ursa like has him basically in her possession. And so Zuri auctions herself off to get the money to rescue him, but it ends up being Ursa that bids on her and ends up getting her. And I like hated this book because Zuri's like going through all this effort to get Alaric back, and Alaric literally has no interest in her, like at all. Like, he couldn't care less if she was there, and I didn't vibe with that at all. Like, I just didn't care, and I can see that obviously a lot of people didn't either. Next is Heat of the Moment, which is by Elle Kennedy. This is like, I think this was a little novella. I didn't even rate this one. The average rating is 3.51. I want to say this was really just like a really steamy novella, and that was it. Like, I don't think there was really much plot. I want to say it was about a girl, if I'm remembering this right, I think it was about a girl who wanted this guy, and they were like in a restaurant or a bar or something, and he had made some comment that she wasn't like adventurous enough for him, and so she like purposely lets him overhear that she wants a threesome or something. Like, it was so strange. And then he's like, oh man, I didn't know this girl was like into that stuff and whatever, so he asks her like to, I don't know, go to his house or whatever with this other guy, and they go, and it's like a thing. But I don't know, it wasn't like anything crazy special. That's probably why I didn't rate it, it was just like whatever. The next one is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, Parts 1 and 2 by J.K. Rowling. This one has a rating of 3.53 stars. I gave this one 4 stars. I will say I rated this like years after I read it, because I only got a GoodReads account like years after I read this. And I don't remember it being bad, but I also like know that a lot of people didn't like the fact that it's written as a script. It's not an actual book. And so I think that may be part of the reason for the lower rating. Next was My Best Friend's Sister by Q.B. Tyler. I gave this one 4 stars. It has a 3.53 rating. I think this is lower, again, because it's a novella. It's not an entire book. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's about a girl who gets with her best friend, or her best friend's sister, no, it's about a guy who gets with his best friend's sister. That makes more sense. It's literally, that's it. That's what the book is. It's very short, very quick. Like, it's literally just them getting together. That's all the book is. I can't even tell you. I think it was like 100 pages maybe. But, I mean, I feel like everyone's ratings, like I said, for novellas are low because there's not enough content. Okay, I'm gonna do just like a couple more just because I'm like seeing one on here that's kind of making me sad. But I'll get to that one and then I'll stop. But next is Recommended for You by Laura Silverman. This one I gave 3 stars, has an average rating of 3.54. This is a YA bookstore romance. It was like cute for what it was. It wasn't anything exciting, and I don't know. I didn't really care, so I can like see why that is lower. I actually ended up donating that book afterwards because I was like, I'm never gonna reread this again. So that one is like understandable. Next is Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. I gave this one 3 stars. The average rating is 3.55. Looking back, I would actually probably change my rating on this to maybe a 4-star because I do still think about this book, and I read it last October, I think. So if I can still think about a book like 10 months later, then it was probably pretty good. So I would probably change my rating on that one actually. I'm not surprised that it's rated as low as it is because I know a lot of people were like, oh, there's no plot in this book and whatever, which is like not entirely false. But also like I went into it knowing that, so I wasn't really expecting much. So that was that. Lastly, the one that kind of made me sad is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling is on here, which is rated 3.55. I gave this one 4 stars. I really thought this one was cute for what it is. There are not many Halloween romances that aren't like paranormal romances or just like general like witch books, I guess. And so I liked that this was like specifically a romance first and Halloween themed second, I guess. And I thought that was really cool. There's a new one coming out this year actually, which I'm excited about. Don't know why that one's rated so low. I personally really enjoyed it. It was cutesy. It was Halloween towny. That was all I wanted. And so I thought it was pretty good. So those are the lowest rated books on my GoodReads. Like I said, I don't know why they're not in order. I'm sorry about that. But that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, and I will see you next time.